Welcome to Cryptid Concoctions, the post show to Miles, Menus, and Mystery. Today we'll be making the drink featured last week, Alien Ooze, discussing the episode Aliens in Paradise, and answering the questions left in the comments. Today we're going to be making Scranton's Alien Ooze. Shout out to Aaron for sharing the recipe with us. You'll need vodka, Scranton uses Tito's, but you can use your favorite, Malibu, pineapple juice, and blue curacao. So we're gonna start with an ounce of Malibu. In another life, I was a bartender. And by another life, I just mean that was one of my many jobs. So here's our ounce of Malibu. We're gonna get our vodka. Like I said, Scranton uses Tito's, but you can use whatever you want. This is light, refreshing, kind of will remind you of sitting on the beach and listening to Jimmy Buffett. 1 can of pineapple juice. That seems like a lot of pineapple juice, but it's not, especially if you want that Alien Ooze green. So the recipe we got from Aaron at Scranton's called for a whole ounce of blue curacao, but we found that we just weren't getting the alien green by putting the whole ounce in there. So if you want to be exact to the recipe, definitely use a whole ounce. But it was a lot of trial and error, just a little more than a splash. So I did put ice in my shaker prior to mixing. You do that so your drink will automatically get cold as you're shaking it up. And there you have it, my friends, Scranton's Alien Ooze. For the LGM out there, that's Little Green Men, or maybe those of you who don't drink alcohol, we've got a second option for you to participate in your own Alien Ooze. For this recipe, you'll need 1 box of lime juice mixed with 16 ounces of hot water, a can of frozen orange juice thawed out, 2 cups of cold water, and 1 liter of ginger ale. Now this can of orange juice reminds me of a cinnamon roll can, and I was really scared it was going to explode, but then I remembered it was thawed. And I got some orange juice in my water. It's important that you add the ginger ale last because of the carbonation. So we're going to go ahead and mix up the water and Jell-O and orange juice. And yes, this is 2 liters, but for this recipe, you only need half of it. Now this is obviously more than just a single size serving. Perfect for an alien themed party or sitting out on the beach in Pascagoula. And there you have it, your Little Green Man friendly Alien Ooze. I'm curious to see if people can nail the green, because that took us, like we said, Scranton's uses a whole ounce of blue curacao, but that was more blue UFO-y instead of like, oozy.
Well, the boys, they did see the blue lights.
They did see the blue lights, so
I guess either way.
But you saw the pictures.
Yeah.
Or we filmed it.
In the video, yeah, it was green.
It was green, so yeah. I don't know how they... And I think they made it in single batches, like for us that day.
Yeah, I think so too.
So it's not like they made a whole picture of it, because that would make sense. I don't know, Aaron and the team do magic at Scranton's.
Yeah. And when it comes to Pascagoula, we really want to thank Richard Chenoweth, Philip Mantle. They were just super friendly and awesome and welcoming, answered so many of our questions. It was really set up our time in Pascagoula. Like that first night we got there.
That was frustrating.
It rained on us the whole day.
And it was cold. It wasn't like a warm rain. I mean, it was October, and you would think October by the coast is enjoyable. It wasn't.
It was rough. I was like questioning our choices, like why are we doing this right now? But kind of like once the sun set and it got dark, like it didn't quit raining and the wind picked up, but at that point it was pretty eerie out there.
It was spooky.
Yeah.
And definitely, like we mentioned in the video, giant blue lights are definitely would be frightening if you're just trying to mind your own business
like
and
you
fish.
know, in the video you can tell it was pretty well lit now, but like well lit in the 70s, I really just can't imagine that amount of light being out there. You know, like you said, the boys probably did take flashlights, and when they saw something way bigger than a flashlight, it was...
Yeah, and the fact that, you know, they were somewhere it wasn't trespassing, but I can imagine how they thought it was cop cars.
Oh, yeah.
Since I work night shift, I see all types of emergency lights
And like those lights are bright at night. So.
yeah, exactly. So I would also like to know more of who saw the lights. Who else thought that they were just some cop pulling somebody over, when in reality it was Charlie and Calvin getting abducted.
That's if you do want to learn more about this, their encounter, Philip Mannel's book Beyond Reasonable Doubt, like
talks about
it does talk about that, where a couple other witnesses that night, and more are coming forward, like you said, so it's cool.
Yeah, but Pascagoula is a great little beach town. It was exciting to just put boots on the ground.
Yeah, and when we got to go back, the weather was great, and that's when we talked to Richard and ate at Scranton's a couple of times and
got to go to Buffett Bridge.
It was beautiful, and the weather was perfect. We went in the lighthouse, and it was nice.
Shall we look at some of the questions, comments, concerns on the video? So right off the bat, we have Witters 1211. Witter says, great first episode. Do you know if Jimmy Buffett had any opinion on the abduction or if he believes in aliens? And that's a fantastic question. I know of a couple of songs or albums that mention the moon and space. He has an album that came out in 1999 called Beach House on the Moon that also has the title song on that track listing. And then on his Fruitcakes album that came out in 94, he has a song called Vampires, Mummies, and the Holy Ghost. And he says that those scare him more than aliens or MTV hosts. It's kind of a silly song. But both those albums did come out after the abduction.
The abduction.
He definitely probably knew about it.
He had to know about it. And then also, when he was visiting Pascagoula, he played a show, an ad-lib version of Mr. Spaceman by the Byrds. And Buffett changed part of the lyrics to say, my window's open, and something came in. It said, boy, I'm back in Pascagoula again, referencing aliens. So
was that when they named the Buffett Bridge? Or a different show?
I think it was a little bit before. No. It might have been when he got the bridge, because there's a quote that he says Charlie didn't get a bridge, so he was referencing Charles Hickson.
It's funny, right? I thought you said bridge. I thought you meant like he didn't get a bridge in the song, but he also didn't get a bridge. Yeah, exactly. Good. Yeah, great question. I would love to have known what Jimmy thought of the abduction in his hometown.
From DOLirio7, great first video. Where are you guys off to next? Also, did you get a chance to try any other restaurants in Pascagoula?
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're pleased with our first video too.
Up next, we are headed to Fouke, Arkansas this weekend. It's a place I've wanted to go for as long as I can remember. I think I found a VHS tape of Boggy Creek when I was 6 or 7, and I've wanted to go ever since, so it's gonna be...
So we're going.
We're going, it's gonna be exciting. And then, did we try any other restaurants in Pascagoula? We ate at Scranton's a few times, and then there was a food truck. We had tacos and nachos at.
We did.
At the Closest Encounter, third Friday event. It was good.
Yeah, they had a handful of food trucks out there.
Yeah.
Food trucks are always a good choice.
Yeah, it was good. If you end up visiting Pascagoula and checking out any of the places we visited, or you try your hand at the alien Ooze, be sure to post some photos on social media. Give us a tag at Miles Menus and Mystery. We are going to Fouke, Arkansas, like we said, this weekend. So that video will post next Friday. And if you have any questions about Fouke or for our guests, be sure to leave a comment. We'll get them in the next Cryptid Concoctions video. And if you enjoy your time in Pascagoula with us, be sure to subscribe, give us a like. We really appreciate it, and we'll see you next week.